Hi, everybody. Welcome. I am so excited to be with you today. I'm trying to broadcast at different times of the day, not only because I'm now in the Southern Hemisphere, but also for those of you in the United States. I don't think it's too ungodly an hour for you to be here. Certainly Australia, New Zealand, we're in a similar time zone, but I'm trying now to work in my loves who are in America to be able to join. Sleepless in Surrey is here today, and just so happy that you're here. I'm on day 12 of managed isolation here in New Zealand. Feels like day 112, but okay. And I just felt it was time to do another live as we build up to one of the most powerful full moons of this year. We've got a blue moon in Taurus coming up on Halloween at 8 degrees and 38 minutes. It's, how can I say, I think we're all feeling the intensities building. Certainly with the elections in the United States, the emotions are hotting up. Things are going to extremes. And it's getting intense. So what does a full moon do? I thought it was time to look at what happens at the time of a full moon. Well, a full moon often brings things to a head and it heightens the emotions. And especially because this full moon is conjunct to Uranus. So we've got the moon full in Taurus. It's our land, it's our earth, it's our values. What's important to us now? And the Uranus is shaking up our values. It's saying, hey, what's really important to you now? For me, really valuable has been the fact that I've been in this solitary confinement for almost 2 weeks. But I've had the internet. Uranus ruling the internet. I've been able to connect with you. What a blessing. So what happens at the time of a full moon is that whatever emotions you've been experiencing or feeling, they're going to be enhanced. They're going to be increased at the time of the full moon, increased. So this video is a heads up to say to you, what emotions would you like to consciously increase at the time of this full moon? Because what we're doing now is doing things more consciously. Uranus is the higher mind, Mercury the lower mind. I must do my list, I must phone this person. Oh yes, I've not done the shopping yet. I must get my delivery. I've got an appointment. That's the Mercury of the lower mind. It also rules language. It rules how we speak with one another. Uranus is a huge upgrade. It's light language. It might be dragon language. It might be channeled language. It might be language of the stars. We've got to upgrade our language. We've got to upgrade the internet. Uranus rules the internet. So this is an opportunity for an upgrade to consciously, at the time of this full moon, as we build up to it, to consciously choose am I going to, because if you're feeling sad and you're feeling upset and all that, and it's going on for a long time, chances are it'll grow at the time of the moon. If you've been feeling calm and chilled, you'll probably feel even calmer. If you choose to feel joy, you can feel even more joyful. And now is the time to begin to consciously choose it. So chances are emotions are going to come up. Full moons are always emotional. And the moon is the female energy. As females are run by the moon, the menstrual cycle, the cycles of the moon, the amount of moons it takes to make a child, to have a baby. It's all moon energy. So it's awakening in you the softer energies, the kinder energies. And as I said, the emotions come up, and for me, it's certainly been coming up being in isolation here. Let me tell you, an experience happened to me. I had my day 11 COVID test. So it's not, I have to say, it's not something I relish, but okay, you go along, you queue, you wait in line, you've got your papers and this and that and the other, and they do the COVID test. And I was so excited because after my COVID test, I was booked in for a walk. Now, a walk is a big highlight when you are confined to a room 24/7. And I booked a walk, and it was happening about 10 minutes after this test. For whatever reason, the lifts were very busy. There's only 2 lifts in a hotel of 200 people. And it was busy. People were coming for these COVID tests. There were new arrivals coming. And I was standing waiting for this lift. And I could see, uh-oh. So I went to my room, didn't run, because you're not allowed to run. You're not allowed to sweat in case you spread bugs. And I rang them and I said, look, I'm waiting for the lift. Please ask the bus to wait for me. She said, don't worry, we'll wait for you, Bracha. Great. So there were a very old Indian couple, bless them, waiting for the lift, along with quite a lot of other people. And you're only allowed to go 1 in a lift or your bubble in a lift, no more. So of course, this older couple who came along much later, of course you let them go. And they didn't know where to press the buttons. You know, we all had to show them a little bit. And 25 minutes later, finally got down to reception, and the bus had gone without me. Well, I can't begin to tell you, it was like, I felt like a 5-year-old. And I broke down in reception in uncontrollable sobbing. It was just like, the emotion was such a disappointment for the highlight. And so I'm sobbing in reception here. And a lovely army man, you know, because there are all these big, tall army policemen around you all the time. And he came up to me and he said, I'm awfully sorry. He said, but I can get you on the next walk in about 2 or 3 hours' time. And I'm sobbing away saying, I've got clients. I don't think I can make it later. And they were so nice. You know, it was just that kind energy. We're very sorry. The bus couldn't wait any longer for you. So I had my little cry, and then I felt a lot better, to be honest with you. So allow whatever emotions to come up. Yeah, you may have experiences that bring up the child in you. And just let it come out, because the Uranian energy may just, it's a little eruptive. And you may also be able to help calm somebody who needs calming, who needs soothing at this time. We all need a bit of soothing, don't we? We really do. Thank you for liking the video. So many of you are asking, please like the video. Then more of our soul family can come online with us. So thank you for liking. And of course, remember to bring in a little bit of fun into everything you do, and try to do, and I'm trying my best in this limited circumstances. Because, I mean, you are literally surrounded by bars, and the windows only open like 2 centimeters, about an inch, because they're afraid that you're going to get sheets and towels and tie things together and escape. As if I'd escaped from the 3rd floor, but anyway. But you've got to have a bit of fun. So wherever you go, you've got to say your number. It really is a bit like being in a camp. So you're wearing a mask, and most of the time they can't hear you because you're 2 bloody meters apart, you're 6 feet apart. So wherever you need to get to, they're saying, what's your number? So I now just do this. And of course, they think that's hilarious. And it's great. I'm not going hoarse, telling everybody I'm room 322 several times a day. So make it your business to do even the small things with great joy. Sarah, thank you. I appreciate that. And thank you for liking, everybody. Suddenly we went up in the likes, and more of our family joins us. So I received a very big and beautiful present today from dear Daniel and his family in the South Island. And they sent me what is called a Punamu Taonga, which is this beautiful Maori stone. It's a very rare green stone found only on the South Island. It's been blessed in sacred water. It's a southern green stone, and it's named after the mountain trout because of its little brown spots and its greeny nature. It looks like the trout. And it came in a lovely little harakeke, little flax bag. And it was such an uplift. And I kept kissing it because it feels awfully sacred, and it's a highly prized stone, and it's mystical and it's magical. So thank you, Daniel. It's a time to tune into the mystical, to tune into Mother Earth. Oh boy, have I got the feeling what it must feel like for people who just cannot get out now. It's been a good experience, not a pleasant one, but a really good experience here. I haven't seen a bird, seen a few pigeons trotting into people's apartments in open windows, but I haven't heard bird song, haven't seen an animal. There's an odd, very sad looking plant in the hotel corridor, but I haven't been around that vibrancy of nature. And I miss it. So not being around it is no excuse. Many of you have sent me beautiful images of skies, of flowers, of trees. And I did get out for a walk, I have to say. And one of the things I notice about beautiful New Zealand is the trees. The tree energy. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. So Uranus and the moon together. This has everything to do with breaking out of your limitations. And most of your limitations are in the mind. What you think you can do, Lee, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. What you think you can't do, you're right. I didn't honestly think that I could make this trip to New Zealand, that I could reinvent and create another chapter in my 60s. in a pandemic. But something was pushing me, this bloody Uranus on my moon, as it happens. So where do you need to break a limitation? I try to make it my business to break my limitations. Drew, welcome. Thank you for joining on the chat. Woo! I'm so lucky. Drew is one of our wonderful moderators. Thank you. So what can you do every day to consciously break a limitation? Every time you break a limitation, as Sadhguru says, he's one of my heroes, dear Sadhguru. Every time you do that, you begin to live life as an adventure. Every time you live more within more restriction, and I feel what that's like now in this solitary confinement here. Even within this, I'm pushing myself to break out and to do something I wouldn't otherwise do, to be creative in my ideas. Not being able to paint, not being able to play music, go into nature, all the things that I would normally do. But I've been singing. I definitely get up and I'm singing. I've begun to train myself now. Before speaking, I sing. Apparently, this is what the Aborigines talk about, that instead of speaking, the voice is not supposed to be used so much. I have heard this is true. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's still a beautiful idea, whether it's true or not. Down the rabbit hole, Tarot, thank you, thank you, thank you. But they say, apparently, that the voice is to be used for singing and for spreading good messages and good cheer. So now I do wake up and I sing a song or two or three, sometimes without music, sometimes just my own little tunes, sometimes the Pleiadians come through, and just for that upliftment. And it does work. I can tell you it works. It changes something. The other thing I do, I've started clapping now when I'm singing. Another thing, it just lifts. What can you do to keep lifting? Uranus is the star energy, is the internet, is these virtual connections. I've asked somebody to write a book, 1 million ways to raise your frequency. Could we come up with at least 1 million ways to do that? Imagine that. Woo! Life is a melody. Beautiful. So I think it's important to be very conscious of negativity. Thank you very much, Angie. I appreciate that very much. To be very conscious of when you're thinking negatively, when you're thinking negatively about yourself, about somebody else, when you're maybe about to say something or write something. Just hold it. When I didn't get on my walk, there was a big part of me that wanted to do a big tantrum and say, bring the bus back. But no, okay, I could see what was going on. There was a certain level of consciousness that, okay, it was a heated emotion. And all those people who did not know me in reception, different ones came to talk to me. One came with handkerchiefs and I asked him with permission. I said, am I allowed to blow my nose? And he said, well, needs must. So I was listening to a beautiful story of a 92-year-old woman who had just lost her partner of over 50 years of marriage. and she was going into an old home. And she'd been hanging around all day at the old home, filling in forms and all this and that and the other. And finally, the nurse got to take her to her room. And she's just opening the door. And the lady says, "Oh, I love it here." And the nurse said, but we're not in the room yet. This is just the corridor. She said, "I know I'm going to love it here." And the nurse said, "Wow, that's just amazing." And this 92-year-old lady said, "Happiness is something you decide in advance." She'd already decided in advance that she was going to love it, come what may. What can you decide in advance for this new moon energy? That you're going to love it anyway. I've learned to love a very dark room. I'm somebody who loves daylight. And this is dark here. Not only is it dark, the windows are filthy. And I'm even growing to love that, or not to notice it quite so profoundly. And I'm even enjoying coming back to the room now when I've gone on the occasional walk. I walk in and I say, "Hello, room spirits. Hello, everybody in here." Because there's always spirits that you can call to you, that can be with you wherever you are. They can be spirits of your loved ones, a brother, a sister, a child, a mother, a father, alive or not living. You can call them to you. You can invite them to you. So what are you choosing to invite in? And the more you invite that goodness, the more goodness comes in. You can't stop it. You just can't stop it coming in. You sort of open a floodgate. I've had wonderful Mary bringing me flowers and strawberries and beautiful cards and just coming to say hi. I've had lovely Dalwina and her sister sending me a care pack with all this fruit and things. I've had so many of you New Zealanders reach out with rooms for the night, lunch offers, rooms for longer periods, offers of help. So keep reaching out. Let's keep reaching out. It's this reaching out and holding hands. And we can do it physically, practically, emotionally through your heart, and mentally. As we move, and I'm promised I'm going to do this video December the 21st, 2020. I'm certainly, many want this video, so I'm going to do it because it's such a profound shift. And it's not something to be frightened of. Please, some of you have emailed me saying that there's been stuff on YouTube that it's going to be a terrible event. No, 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 no. Please don't set up a thought pattern for that kind of energy. It's an energy that's taking us into Aquarius, and it's taking us into the air. So we've had the last couple of 100 years of the earth, heavier matter energy, heavier energy. And from the air, as we go into the air, we can see our earth. We can begin to see what we've been doing to it. When you're actually on the earth, you haven't got that bird's eye view. So this energy is going to give us more of a bird's eye view. And what I see coming, I will do the separate video, is much quieter energy, quieter forms of energy, not these loud motorbikes and loud lorries. Sometimes I have to put my fingers in my ears. I am sensitive to noise, but just if a loud truck is coming past, oh, the vibrations I find really destructive. So I think as we move to this air energy, all this loud machinery is going to be obsolete. Things are going to be flying. Things are going to be lighter, and it's going to be more on the mental plane. We're going to create using mental energy. just like the yogis used to be able to do, maybe some still do, is they just manifest a bunch of flowers in the, you know, manifestation. I think we've maybe got a way to go with this, but the more of us that come together in this frequency, the more mystical magic we can create. I'm convinced of it. Do you agree? So I'm very excited about this quieter technology, not these bloody boilers, ba-boom, ba-boom, and these fridges, you know, everything is sort of buzzing you and bashing you. I think, you know, solar energy, all the different forms of energy are going to be much more peaceful and much more effective. Yes, I think we can create free energy for everybody, probably very easily when we get to the higher mind. So yes, everything is loud nowadays. Thank you. I'm glad other people feel like that. It's like, even though I'm in a relatively quietish street, I still feel the vibrations of the noise. So I think that this mental, oh, thank you, Maria, you're wonderful. She's asking you to thumbs up the video. Please thumbs up the video. It just helps more of us to come together. And as we do that, we're more powerful together. We can create more. It will release more for you, I hope, in your life. So yes, roses and raspberries, seek the silence within, absolutely, but yes. So I think that we're moving to the energy of AI, of robotics, towards singularity, towards conscious machines. Somebody was telling a little joke, but it's maybe not too far from the joke. That her daughter, she thought that her daughter was talking about being transgender. And she said, oh, don't worry about that. I don't mind if you're transgender, her mother's saying to her. But actually, her daughter's saying, no, actually, I'm transhuman. I want to upload my consciousness onto the cloud. So who knows which directions we're going into. But you can rest assured that we are going to be experimenting more with our machines, with our technology, and we need to raise the frequency so that we're doing it for the good and the benefit of all. The Uranian Aquarian energy has to do with the benefit of all, not for just the few, not just these billionaires becoming trillionaires. No. Everybody has a place. Everybody. There are trillions of cells in the human body, trillions, that all have to get along together. Like a symphony. Symphony coming from the Greek word symphonie, which means phony is the voice, symphonie, voices together. So symphonie, if I'm with a woman, I would say symphonie. Do you agree? Yes, symphonie. So this whole word is our voices coming together as one, even though we may be billions or trillions of beings on this planet. We have to come together as one and for the good of one. So I'm just so excited to be here with you in New Zealand, in lockdown, not in lockdown, sorry, in isolation. It's exciting to be at a completely different place and a different time. And isn't it great we can still be together? Drew, thank you for your great contribution on the chat. Thank you to so many of you who have donated on the chat today, who join me on Patreon, who like the videos. I'm just so grateful for you, my dear soul family. This is an amazing time to be alive, an intense time to be alive, an uncomfortable time to be alive. Don't expect to be comfortable for too long. I don't know exactly where I'm moving to. I don't know where I will live in New Zealand, ultimately. I really don't know. And believe you me, for a Taurus moon, that is bloody uncomfortable. But no matter, I've got my talisman here. Thank you, Daniel. And I was playing today some Greek songs because I do miss Greece. I love Greece. I love Europe. I love so many places. This world is a beautiful world, and we can make it a really wonderful world, a world that works for all of us. That is the key to, I feel, the wish. If we could create a soul wish for this blue moon in Taurus, conjunct to Uranus, would be the wish, I feel, because Taurus is our survival needs, our food, our shelter, our warmth or cooling, family, but those survival basic needs. And that Uranus spreads them around our planet. That is the intention that we would set, that every being on this planet, animate or inanimate, thank you very much, Spirit, reads, thank you. Every being on this planet is honored, respected, dignified, and has all those basic needs met. So I'm going to close out. I'm hoping I won't be copyright striked for this. I mean, Zorba the Greek, I think, is a very old piece, but I'd like to play out with a little bit of Zorba the Greek, just because I think it's such a beautiful song to play out.